Hey guys, it's Frankie, Simply Imaginary People, and this is just a short tutorial on how to add some basic hair to scalp, so hair texture like shaved head texture or hair texture, just really basic, like it's not particularly good but it's pretty easy to do. So I'm just in Photoshop and I just have a random white image. I'm just going to make a new layer and I have my draw tablet attached, so my draw pad thing. I'm just going to make a pen with 80% hardness and like a small size. And I'm just going to draw some really simple hairs. And I want a small curly one, so maybe draw some curly hairs. This doesn't look particularly good, but I just want to show you how it works. Then I'm just going to go edit, define pattern, edit, define brush preset, and define that brush preset so I can show you how this works. So here I've got the brush now, and I can make it pretty small. You can see that's pretty small, and now I'm just going to go to brush properties here, and you'll see the brush down here. Now I can move the spacing out a bit, and also add flip. No, don't do that. You can change the size here, and then go to shape dynamics. Now I like to do size jitter and angle jitter only a little bit. Roundness jitter as well, and X jitter, Y jitter, and then go to scattering and scatter it a bit. Maybe up the count a bit more. Like that. Okay. And I'm also going to figure it out. Scattering, transfer. You can fiddle with opacity and flow jitter if you want to. And then we're going to go to color dynamics. Nope, that was the wrong one, was it? No, that's the right one. And I'm just going to play with these jitters and foreground background jitter and hue jitter and saturation and that. And this just means that I can pick maybe a dark brown or black, and then maybe a light brown for highlights. Like this, two colors. And you've got to fiddle with whatever works best for you. So angle jitter is going to be direction. And you'll see if I paint, I kind of get a load of small little hairs. Now I'm trying to find okay. So now I'm just going to turn this 90 degrees, and you'll see now my hair kind of all goes in the same direction. Make it a bit bigger if I want to. And I can kind of draw curly hairs. Now I can also fiddle with color dynamics, so maybe I want to put the hue jitter up a bit more. And the saturation jitter. Maybe put the hue jitter down again because it's going green. But you can see if I just keep painting, I kind of get like a texture. If it's too dense, which it kind of is, then you just do exactly the same thing. Let's go to 80 again. And black, good. And oops. Just make myself a preset that's a bit further apart, so where the curls are not as close. And then again, edit, define brush preset, and fiddle around with it. Usually end up having a couple of presets to fiddle with. So again, 90 here, spacing further apart, shape dynamic, size jitter, bit of angle jitter, roundness jitter, scattering, count jitter, color dynamics, leave all that as it was, opacity and flow jitter. You can fiddle around with all these settings, and now you can see quite a bit more further apart curly hairs. This works a bit better. And obviously I can then just gotta get rid of this green though. Awful. Keep going and make it denser by going over areas more than once. Right, so once you've made some brushes, I'll upload some for those people who don't have a draw pad. What you're going to do is you're going to open the whatever age you want. So I'm going to do this on a toddler head. The head, scene and texture, and then replace it with your head. PSD, so replace the face and replace the scalp. Oops, I just replaced the scalp with the face. Not helpful. Right. Good. Now I'm just going to go to Edit Texture and make sure you make a new layer. And do the same for the scalp because you don't want to draw on the original, it's hard to get rid of. So make a new layer for both. And then I'm just going to go to Scene and I'm going to pull this head towards me so I can see what I'm doing a bit better. And move it down a bit. I'm just going to start here. So it's a good idea to kind of know what you want to do and what you want it to look like. So I'm just going to start with this one and I'm going to make it a lot smaller. Figure out which size I want it. I think that works pretty well. And then I can just start drawing. Now you can see all of these are pretty much in the same direction. So if I want to stop that, oh, that's because I haven't got these things on. Scattering, 90, color dynamics, right. Sometimes it scatters pretty far down, so if you have that issue, just reduce the scattering and reduce the count. That sometimes helps. Don't worry about the texture looking a bit weird sometimes. And all you're going to do is you'll see it stretches here, but just draw over that. Really all you're going to do is draw. Just keep rotating the head and drawing what you need. Sometimes you need to do a couple of layers for it to look like thicker hair. The brush usually lags behind a bit, but that's fine. Just requires a bit of patience. So yeah, I'm just going to have to wait a while I finish at least the front part of this, so that I can show you what it actually looks like. Just going to keep turning my head. So the color dynamic thing just pretty much mixes the two colors together. Really helps with like blonde hair and red hair, that you've got a bit more color changes in it. Obviously you can do one layer and then you might want to do it darker with a couple more I don't know, light brown highlights. There's the next layer. It's just really up to you to fiddle around with it, but you can see that the brush pretty much already does most of the texturing for you. So yeah, I'm not going to bother doing the rest of the head because otherwise this tutorial is just going to take another 10 minutes of watching me drawing. So let's just do the front part relatively even. And there we go. Yeah. Obviously then if you want to use the one that's a bit thicker, oops, that one, yes, you can reduce the opacity of it. You can also make a new layer, which is smarter. Let's just say color dynamics. It's a bit too much. Thicker one, maybe he has like a mohawky part at the front. It just goes along the sides and the top. Like this. Let's go down a bit further around here because it looks weird. Okay. Ooh. Can never get this to rotate back. Okay, so that's just pretty much just basic fiddling. Again, you can always correct the bits you don't like. If you want to, don't like that. Okay, so if you now look here, well not, see it didn't want that. I now go to edit texture. You'll see I've got this as a new layer. It's usually a good idea to delete, like erase the ear bit so you can see. What you can also do is if you don't think it's dark enough, just duplicate it. Let it load. Just make sure you duplicate it in both the scalp and the other one. There, now it's a bit darker, it's pretty red. So I'm just going to go to Image, Adjustments, Hue, Saturation, and drag that down -62. Image, Adjustments, Hue, Saturation, and make that exactly the same. Make sure you edit them both the same, otherwise you get issues. There we go, now it's a bit more black. There, so now this kid has some basic hair. There are some brushes you can download also. I'll share these. There are brushes like, I'll try and figure out where I got these from, like this one, which, let's just show on the back of the head. If I also put on all this color dynamics, it's a bit too big. But if you see this, it's pretty good for like a shaved head type look because it's just dots. Obviously, also what you can do with this, let me just make a new layer here, is make a soft light layer in black maybe with this brush, or one that has more dots, so you can make a new one like this one. This one has dots like this, and if you just make this smaller, like that, just even smaller, and we'll again turn on all these. Fiddle with stuff like texture, where you can add a texture to your brush. This is a skin texture that sometimes helps transfer, opacity jitter, flow jitter. And now I can kind of, I want my kid to be a bit more freckly, just like add some basic freckles to the skin. So yeah, it works well as freckles. Also, let me show you on a lighter sim. So here, let's open this face. If you make a brush that I'll show you is a single black line, so let's make this very big. It is like a single line like this. Then again, make a new layer. Put on all this. I'm going to reduce my angle jitter and control it with direction, and then do this 90, and you'll see that they kind of go in the direction I am moving my brush. And now I'm just going to say scattering and count. You can fiddle around with this again. Color dynamics on. Again, fiddle with all this how you want. And oops, I'm way too big. It's not going in the direction I want it to. Okay, that's not doing it either. Okay, good. Right, it's doing scattering. Right. I can literally, if I make this smaller, start just drawing him a beard. I'm not doing this very neatly because, yeah, if I just remove the angle jitter even more, I can make him more of a beard that goes in one direction. Just got to up the scattering a lot. Here we go. Just see, now you can see it's more in one direction, depending on how I make the angle jitter. So, again, not very neat here. But just to show you that obviously I have to delete certain parts of it. And make a very quick beard using this method too. So yeah, let me just show you this in, I'll just save as, wrong folder, TS3, file save as F, TS3. So here's the kid without any hair, and now if we switch, freckles and hair. I'm going to take the freckles off because it doesn't look right good on this kid. But you can see it just has like basic hair. And that's pretty much just what I do. So I'll show you, I have some other brushes. So for Nuke's hair, the one I showed in the preview, I have this brush, which is just basic, and this brush. So this is like this brush but longer for longer hairs. So obviously you can just draw that one as well. So, oops, obviously you need to put all these on again. I always forget that. Computer is not happy. But yeah, I'll leave it. So yeah, it's pretty simple. Just make yourself a brush and start drawing. Make basic scalp textures and stuff just by doing that. So yeah, that was a quick tutorial.